What's up, everybody? It is your boys back live at Diamond Owl Studios. I was just tying my shoe down there. I'm Paper Chase.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. Hold on.
Okay, dude, this is we're doing a Fleetwood Mac reaction, so keep it respectful.
You're right.
For
I'm
Queen
sorry.
Stevie.
I'm sorry. You were kind of like a Jack in the Box. You know those things like
I popped up.
Like I knew it was gonna happen, and it still scared the shit out of me. I'm like, oh, give me my meds. Almost had a stroke. Anyways, we are back with another classic reaction. So today, as he just mentioned, we're doing Fleetwood Mac, The Chain. This is a song we were kind of discussing it beforehand, and it's another song that I'll let you explain it. What is your relationship to this song? What do you know of the song?
I think everybody's heard the chorus, you know, whether it be in like a movie or just in the background or playing somewhere. So I know, like, when you started singing it, I was like, I've heard it. I've definitely heard that song, but I don't know it by any means. Definitely never seen it performed live and never listened to it in its entirety. So
here we go.
Yeah.
And I've never seen this particular live performance that we're pulling up today. So this is a first time reaction to Fleetwood Mac's live performance of The Chain. Without further ado, let's bring it up and just dive right in.
Yeah, I've been to first base with this song, but I've never gone all the way. So I'm ready,
Hey.
ready to hit a home run, baby.
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sun rise. Running in the shadows, damn your love, damn your life. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. You don't love me now. You don't love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain.
Yeah, bro. Every time we watch Fleetwood Mac, it just gives me goosebumps. They're so amazing live. They were on tour last year, right? I believe.
I do not know, to be completely honest with you.
This is a band I would just love to see.
Yeah, we have to. I mean, here's the truth. I mean, they're getting older. It's like you're going to have fewer opportunities, and there's those certain bands that just, you've got to see them. Like, I'm kind of kicking myself that if they were here last year, I didn't go because they were here recently. I do remember.
Maybe it was
like after the fact.
Or...
Yeah, it was close enough. But, it's interesting because like there's certain elements of this song that as I'm listening to it now, I'm like, okay, the intro reminds me of almost like folk music, like kind of folksy element or vibe to it.
A little southern.
Yeah, exactly. And then as it hits in the chorus, it's just like, it's got that rock elements, but I just love the blending of the styles. And I've like said this before, there's different artists like Florence and the Machine that like definitely reminds me of like Stevie Nicks in the sense of like even like the flowy dresses, the way that she dances. I think about like Lana Del Rey, who I really like. And I feel like a lot of that is a callback to Stevie Nicks. Like in a lot of ways,
she was like a trendsetter, paved the way for a lot of these.
Yeah, because like Lana Del Rey is like very like nostalgic, retro vibes, kind of leans into that even like 70s kind of like glamour. And if you really look at it, even in the dresses and like, you know, the pictures are reminiscent of like the 70s
Right.
and like Polaroid, you know, pictures, and like all of that was inspired by Stevie Nicks. I mean, there's no denying it. So yeah, you got to give a shout out to the legend.
Shout out.
Listen to the wind blow, down comes the night. Running in the shadows, damn your love, damn your life. Break the silence, damn the dark, damn the light. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you say you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. And I can still hear you say you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. And I can still hear you say you would never break the chain. Keep us together. Keep us together. Running in the shadows. Keep us together. Keep us together. Keep us together.
So yeah, obviously, I was gonna say it looks like some of the members are like that guy has to be different from the other video we saw, the guitarist.
Oh yeah.
So
from the one that we watched in like the 70s, and that was one
Yeah.
of the things that we had discussed, is that there was this idea, at least this is what I read, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was like discussion about there being like a curse on the band because of so many changes of members or whatever. But
one thing is for sure. First off, if you haven't seen our other reactions to Fleetwood Mac, make sure you go check out our Landslide reaction, our Rhiannon reaction, and our everywhere reaction. And there's one thing clear from the Rhiannon live video we watched. That drummer is definitely the same drummer, because he's got the signature. Yeah, I love that guy, dude. His energy is impeccable. Love him. And of course, Stevie Nicks. Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
I had a question. Do you know is this a different style guitar? I'm just looking at it,
Because of
just the shape of it. Like I'm just wondering.
I mean, it has
Or
that
you think it's just-
it has that acoustic shape,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm not like too familiar with guitar types.
And that's
brands
Lindsey
and stuff.
Buckingham, I believe. So, you know, hey, we're learning, we're growing. Like a lot of this music, like I've listened to, but it's not like I've been really in depth with like other genres where it's like, oh, I got to know like who produced it, blah, blah, blah. So this is fun for me because then I get to just kind of learn about the individual members of the band. And then like, I believe like Lindsey Buckingham, some of it has some like solo music that we'll react to at some point, but it's just cool just to see the different elements, their journeys, like separately, apart, together, and just learn more about the different members of the band. The other thing that I was just going to highlight, I mean, like that bass riff is just like so iconic when it that dun,
Yeah,
da, da,
that was
da, da,
fire.
da, da, da,
Yeah.
da. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like every time I hear this song, it's still fresh. And there's certain bands that are like timeless in the sense that like Fleetwood Mac is one of those that it doesn't matter how many times I've heard Dream, it's still amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is because there's almost nothing else. Like if you watch a movie like 10 times, it gets old. You know, you have the same food like over and over. It gets kind of boring. But certain bands just have that. They capture that lightning in the bottle, that magic. And they're one of them that was just able to create songs that it's like, it doesn't matter how many times I've heard it. It's like, yeah, turn the volume up. You know what I mean? And this album in particular, I think The Chain, I'm just going to check. I think that came off of the Rumors album.
Yeah. While you're looking that up, dude, it's funny because, you know, I have a 6-year-old daughter and she gets fixated on music, you know, and after we did a reaction to some Stevie Nicks, I put on, I looked up Fleetwood Mac. I just put on, you know, I was like, what song would my kid like? I put on, you know, Everywhere. And now she literally, every time we get in the car, she's like, Dad, can you play that Everywhere song? And she basically knows every word to it now after, you know, making me play it 100 times in a row. But like you said, it's one of those things you can just listen to it over and over and it's always good no matter what, you know?
Yeah, the reason I wanted to bring that up is because like that album in particular, Rumors, was like such a classic. I think that it's got to be up there with one of the best albums of all time because there were so many good songs on it. Dream, like it's just one of those albums where once again, it's like a band just comes together and for whatever reason, like the stars are aligned, you know, the magic is there and they're able to create this like amazing piece of art and this amazing work that just like stands the test of time. So I'm curious, like, is that album in particular, Rumors, does it make like the top of like best albums of all time? What else is on that list? Like one thing that we've been reacting to is Pink Floyd, which you were kind of surprised because you weren't expecting it to hit like that, right?
No, I had no idea, especially the live performances we watched. I had no idea that it was that incredible. And I get it, you know, there's a lot of these artists, you know, you don't, especially from my generation, like I grew up with a whole different wave of music and I didn't, you know, have a chance to check these guys out. So I didn't show them their proper respect. And now with this channel, it's helping like open my eyes to not only just like some bangers and good music that, you know, my parents listened to or whatever, but just kind of like what shaped the music I listen to nowadays. Yeah. Which it helps me respect just, you know, the music I listen to now and just these guys so much more. It really has opened my mind to a whole new world. And yeah, Fleetwood Mac, Pink Floyd, all these incredible artists we're listening to, Phil Collins, you know, it's incredible to hear them for the first time from my perspective and kind of compare it to the music I grew up listening to. And I'm like, wow, like these guys paved the way. It's amazing. You know?
Yeah. And that's something that we're going to have to do. I know it's a little off track, but I feel like it's on subject and on brand is basically like doing like a full album reaction, you know, to Pink Floyd's like The Wall, because it's like meant to be listened to in that way. And I've heard individual songs. I've never listened to the whole album. Yeah. So even though I've heard like these snippets and these pieces of it, like I also know that there's like a fully different experience that's involved with like listening to the album, which is again, something that we've lost, I think, a lot in the current era, because like with Spotify and all these streaming platforms, a lot of the music that's coming out is like singles, you know, song here, song there. And the art of making an album is not the same as it was in previous times. So.
Not at all. Yeah.
So yeah, if you enjoyed this reaction and you want to see more like this, let us know in the comments. What should we react to next? What albums are some of the best albums that we have to listen to the album as a whole to really get that feeling and really understand like what the artists were doing? I'd be very curious to hear what you've got to say in the comments. Anything else there?
Yeah, if you guys want to follow along our journey of discovering old music, new music, and everything in between, and broadening our horizons, and maybe, you know, you can discover some new artists with us, we would love to have you, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and join along. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace!